We do it by ourselves, on live laughing.
Uh,
Yes, people, Comedy 101 with my legendary co-host, Mr. Bob Lemon.
hey, how you doing, Daniel?
Well, busy, busy always, Mr.
I
Bob.
know you're always busy. It's
Always
crazy.
busy. But busy means productive, right?
Okay. I don't know. That's a good question. I sometimes I think being too busy may be counterproductive.
Why not? Counterproductive. Why is
Maybe.
it? Maybe or maybe not.
No, maybe. Yeah, maybe yes. Yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Because there's a lot of people being busy, but they are not being productive. Don't you think?
That's true. You can be very busy and not be productive at all. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually I just talking to my son earlier today and he has a person that he works with and she literally has to like her whole day it takes her whole day to get like one thing done.
Wow.
And because it's just the way she is and so she has to have a goal for the day otherwise she'll never get anything done. And I'm like, "Wow. I wish I could be like that."
The whole day.
Yeah, well, no, I don't really wish I could be like that. It just seems like it would be tough, right? So, I mean,
Yes.
because you can't get any, you, I mean, you, obviously you take care of yourself and all that, but I mean, to actually get something done beyond the
Your
basics
day.
of being taking care of yourself and feeding yourself and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I don't think of any of the. That's the funny thing. This is a serious conversation instead of funny, but that's the
Serious
funny thing is
conversation.
most people don't think of taking care of yourself or getting your food and all that kind of stuff as really part of your like
Routine.
your day, right?
Yes.
That's what you have to do.
Brushing
They
your
only think
teeth.
about the things that you don't have to do as being part of your day. Like for instance, at work, at my work, I don't consider doing answering emails to be work
It's a
because I have to
hobby.
do that no matter what.
It's a hobby, Mr. Bob.
Yeah, you just have to do it. And
Mm.
so only thing I consider work are things that are beyond, doing emails or answering people's questions or any of that. That's not, even though it really does take time and can take a lot of time. I don't think of it as work. I don't, if I'm, you know, like I answer emails all day long, like into the evening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll answer people and they're like, why are you answering it? It's like, well, that's not really work. I mean, work is actually getting something done, making something or pushing something forward or, you know, answering an email is not a big deal. So, but some people they consider it work. So,
Yes. For me, Mr. Bob, answering those, like every day I have 50 messages on Podmatch. Imagine,
mm-hmm.
so you need to do that to
50.
be number one on Podmatch, to respond, to reply all those messages. So, well, if you think that that is not a job for me, I think yes. So,
See, that's where we
lucky you.
disagree.
Lucky
I don't
you
have
because
50. I don't have 50 messages. I probably get 50 emails a day, but not
uh
50 messages on Podmatch.
yes,
But no, I
50
mean
percent.
that's part of you have to do it, right? You can't
It's a
not
part of
do
a
it.
job. Mm-hmm.
It becomes that just becomes like, breathing or eating or whatever. You just got to do it. And the stuff that
Yes.
you don't have to do, that's what I think of as work.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stuff that's like, well,
It's a
is
part of your
is
routine.
anything going to like happen if I don't do this today? And typically the answer is no. I can do it tomorrow, but so that's the work because if I don't get it done, then it does never gets done.
Yes.
Where all
It
this other stuff
it
has to
consume
get
you.
done, so it's just part of the routine, part of your routine.
Mm-hmm.
But then you know what? That's totally absurd. 50 pod match emails a day. You need to cut back.
Like last 25, like 30. Oh.
Who- No one even
25 for
returns my emails on Podmatch. I must be not doing something wrong. They don't even answer me. They'll be like, "Hmm."
Yeah, I
So
saw
go ahead. I'm
it so
sorry.
happened that probably because I do every day. inviting guests. So it
Mm-hmm.
consumed me like it's my routine to invite guests to be part of my three podcasts. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine every day I make it a habit that my 15 minutes I
Mm-hmm.
send, because you if you're a regular Padmats or a regular member of Padmats,
Mm-hmm.
you have six emails that you need to send, a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will count like 4 hours, and then it will renew six again, six
Mm-hmm.
invitation that you will send to any
You don't have to
people
send them
on
to
Padmats.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
Yes.
don't. You say maybe later. I always do that. Maybe later.
Or not. Sure, that maybe
Or
later.
not.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
later or not. Let me look real
Mm-hmm.
quick. Well, since we're talking about it, let me see if I have any matches.
Do you have a
I
matches?
do.
You
Okay,
do? How
here's a
many?
person that's just two because
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay. You pay, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
pay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so here's a person who's a storyteller. You know
Oh
what?
wow.
Maybe later. I don't want to talk to them. Here's another guy.
Maybe later.
He's another storyteller. Guess what?
Uh-huh.
Maybe later.
Maybe not.
Now I'm done.
And pass, right? Maybe later on
Maybe
pass.
later. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
next time I'll talk to him, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. I can tell you.
You're busy because busy on Comedy 101 and
That's right.
Movies
I'm busy.
101.
I was busy putting together this comedy 101 thing about absurdist comedy.
So let's talk about absurdness in
Yeah, so
comedy.
last week we talked. What did we talk about last week? I don't even remember now. We had Lenny
We talk,
Bruce, I know that, but
yeah, so we talk about how to back up. I think if you're in the middle of something and your thing did not pick up. A
oh
second,
right,
yes,
backups,
the
right,
backup thing.
backups. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a little bit of a history lesson in one of my favorite aspects of comedy, which is absurdist comedy. Now, what do you think absurdist comedy is, Daniel?
Sometimes for me, absurdist is saying things personal to people or things that happening or shit is happening around you.
Well, no, it's taking typically it's taking something that seems reasonable and then making it totally outlandish.
Mm.
So, for instance, I might say, let's go camping, Daniel.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to go camping. And then next thing I'm saying, yeah, we're going to camp underneath the river. And,
Mm.
you take it to an extreme, right? And it's totally absurd because no one would camp under the river.
Mm.
So, but you try to find comedy in these weird things. Like I would say it's absurd that you have 50 Podmatch emails a day, but that's your reality. So it's not quite as absurd as it would be to
Mm-hmm.
me. But absurdist comedy, it kind of came along in the 1960s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of uh, just the change in the way people behaved and so forth, as we left kind of conservative life and got a little bit more, open about things and crazy about things, and so probably one of the main well let me hold on. So it directly stems from absurdism, which is primarily articulated by the French philosopher Albert Camus in a 1942 essay, The Myth of Sisyphus.
The myth.
The myth of Sisyphus, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Camus defined the absurd as the unsolvable conflict between two opposing forces, right? So a human need or innate essential desire to find rational order, purpose, and inherent meaning in the universe versus the world's silence, the universe refusal to provide such meaning, meeting our desire with vast, cold, and irrational indifference, right? So I think 50 emails from Podmatch is absurd, but that's your reality.
Yes.
And so the comedy comes from exposing the conflict through the characters who continue to act serious, even though everything is going awry. The latest version of this recently was The Naked Gun, right? So Liam Neeson was in
Yes.
the movie called The Naked Gun.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a detective, and all these crazy things happen, and but he just plows on through them, even though they're just totally outlandish, right? So, some key characteristics for absurd comedy are the non sequiturs, right? So, dialogue or
Mm-hmm.
events that follow no logical progression or casual connection, representing a breakdown of communication. So, like if we're talking and we have, totally different conversations going on, but they somehow connect in a weird way. So you think I'm talking about one thing and you're talking about another. So it creates a cognitive dissonance, forcing the audience to abandon the search for any logic and just kind of go along for the ride. A big,
Mm-hmm.
a big, big thing on that would probably be Kramer from Seinfeld. Who knows what he was doing and
Oh,
talking about? He just was being so wacky and outlandish, and then people would just go along with it because why not?
why not?
It comes a
Yes.
point where you just cannot uh, deal with it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
incongruity and juxtaposition. So you put things, you juxtaposition things together. For instance, me passing on everybody maybe later, and you answering everybody. So you're placing two wildly incompatible ideas and images or behaviors side by side, and it generates a sudden jarring shift, highlighting the arbitrary nature of reality. So you just see how absurd everything is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of times they do this in with the military, how crazy the military is with their terms and everything, and it's like the reality is, who cares? We don't need all that repetition and stasis. Characters engage in repetitious circular actions or dialogue that lead nowhere. So that's like the who's on first. If you remember the old Abbott and Costello, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know, is on third. And
On
then
fourth.
that's right. Who's on first? Yes, who's on first? And then it's just a whole circular kind of thing, absurdist stuff. And then serious reaction to the bizarre. So you see something that's happening that's totally bizarre, but you go at it and as if it were really happening, right? So a lot of times that happens in comedy where you have a straight man like Frank Drebin from Police Squad and The Naked Gun, and it's a totally crazy, outlandish scenario, and he's just like it's every day. He just attacks it like it's every day, which makes it even more funny. So the one some big examples of this would be Monty Python, right? So back in the
Oh,
70s,
yes. Yes.
Monty Python, had all kinds of absurd things where they'd have the newscaster on the beach and he would come on and he'd say, now for something completely different. And then they would go, and now for something completely different, a man with a recorder up his nose. And then they'd show the character putting his finger up his nose and it played a song. And so the Monty Python is kind of one of my favorites, and also one of the big absurdist comedy uh, proprietors back in the 70s. They made movies like Monty Python and the Holy Grail and The Life of Brian, which both take shots at how crazy things were for King Arthur, and then also Jesus, right? Life of Brian
Mm-hmm.
is a play on Jesus Christ. So Brian was a false Messiah in that movie. So now you kind of have a little bit more of an idea. What kind of came also after that would be Airplane, which is the Zucker brothers, and they actually made Police Squad and the original Naked Gun movies. They haven't made the new one, but they made the original one. If you remember, Airplane had Leslie Nielsen as a serious doctor on the plane, and he was supposed to be helping people, and all this crazy stuff was happening around them. If you remember that movie, and it
Mm-hmm.
spawned countless other movies like it. Right, Top Secret was another one about spy movies. I mean, it just goes on and on. Even Austin Powers, in a way, is an absurdist
Yes.
movie
Austin
about
Powers.
'60s spy movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen any of those Brothers movies, and there are, several, besides Police Squad or Naked Gun and so forth, but those are all absurdist. So it just takes something and expands upon it to the point where it makes no sense whatsoever, but everybody is still playing along in the scene, right? So Brazil, which is to me is a great movie. Have you ever seen the movie Brazil from
Brazil.
1985?
No, sorry.
No? Okay. Well, it
Let's talk
takes an
about it on
absurdist
movie.
look
Mm-hmm.
at government in the dystopian society where this character who is like a governmental worker, you can't even get your air conditioning fixed because you have to fill out so much paperwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows how absurd the government is, and it's really a fascinating movie. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's funny in
Funny,
other
funny.
senses. Yeah. So then as we go forward, right? So that brings us into, kind of more modern times here. Uh, the Simpsons is a total
Oh,
absurdist
yes.
thing. Homer
Mm-hmm.
works in a nuclear power plant, and then Homer, has all these other jobs that he just kind of bounces into. Seinfeld's like that too, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Kramer is totally absurdist comedy whenever he's on the screen, and the only grounding person in The Simpsons is mostly Marge, and then in Seinfeld, it's mostly Jerry Seinfeld himself. Oddly enough, who is the comedian who is the least funny of the group, which is quite interesting. I would say, wouldn't you? Have you seen Seinfeld? A lot of Seinfeld or The Simpsons?
The last, yeah, The Simpson. Once in a
The
while.
Simpsons, once in a
Yes.
while.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Not that.
they go on these flights of fancy where
Mm-hmm.
Bart is running for mayor. I don't know what they've done over the years. So it's been on for 20 some years. I can't remember all the different things. But yeah, so you take something to the extreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do that. You haven't watched Seinfeld yet? You haven't watched all of Seinfeld?
Well, I read the book through audiobooks. Not
Read
the read, but I listened.
audiobook on Seinfeld?
Yes, Seinfeld, the biography of Mr. Seinfeld.
Really?
Yes,
That
you need
probably wasn't
to.
that absurd, to be honest with you. His
This is
dad was a
totally
sign painter. He said my dad was a sign painter, and then I went into New York and did stand up comedy when I was like a teenager.
mm-hmm, like that.
That's Jerry. He's not absurd at all.
Yeah, so Mr. Bob, do you think Mr. Bean is absurd comedy?
So what's that? Say that again.
Mr. Bean, Mr. Bean.
Oh, Mr. Bean is absurd.
Yes,
Yeah. So Mr.
yes.
Bean,
Mm-hmm.
very absurd. Do you remember the Mr. Bean where he painted his room with a stick of dynamite and a thing of paint?
Yes.
And then it exploded, right? And paint went
mm-hmm.
everywhere. And then he left an outline of him on the wall. That's totally absurdist comedy, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
cartoonish.
Cartoonish, yes.
But it, there's one, the new, recent one is called I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. It's absurd. He actually has a new thing out called The Chair Company on HBO. If you happen to catch that, is very absurd, very very absurd
As
comedy.
in absurd.
And actually, one of my favorites, which I don't know, this is a British one, is called The Mighty Boosh. You ever heard of The Mighty
Uh-huh.
Boosh?
No. Sorry, let
No.
tell us. That's why you're here to be
Oh my
my
gosh,
co-host to
yeah.
tell me all about this, Mr.
So The
Bob.
Mighty Boosh is a
Mm-hmm.
totally absurd comedy with Julian Barrett and I'm blanking on Noel.
No one know.
Noel and I can't remember Noel's last name, but
No one
Noel
know.
and they work at a zoo of all
Mm.
places, taking care of their zookeepers, but they're really not. And the head zookeeper is totally insane, and he does all kinds of crazy stuff. But if you it's one of these shows that you have to watch to experience it, and it is so bizarre. And they have a gorilla that they talk to who's smarter than they
Gorilla.
are,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have a genie.
Oh,
And so
nice.
it is so far beyond reality, but it's based in reality. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah, and
Totally
the Mighty Boo
absurd.
show. Anyway. I would. highly recommend anybody. Uh, Noel Fielding. Sorry, I couldn't remember Noel's last name. Noel
Noah
Fielding.
Fielding.
And to watch the Mighty Boosh, there's not that many episodes. I think there's only like 12 or 18 episodes of the whole show, and it is just peak absurdity. And it's
Mm,
so, but it's very British. So if you don't like British comedy, which so you're in Canada, and so
yes.
Canada's a little more aligned with Britain than we are in America. So a lot of people in America have no idea about the Mighty Boosh, but I think that the Canadians might like it better.
Mm-hmm.
You think
Yes.
so?
I think so because they love Mr. Bean
And Mr. Bean,
and the
yes,
Phaeton. Mm.
yeah. There's only like 12 Mr. Bean episodes or something like that.
12
Can you believe
apps.
it? Yeah, there's not very many. There's very, very
I,
few Mr. Bean episodes. There was a
are you
cartoon as
sure?
well, but yeah, the
Cartoons,
actual
yes.
episodes of Mr. Bean, the original
So,
episodes are very, very few.
oh
He goes
my
to take a
goodness.
test and he's trying to cheat, and yeah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah, all very. He's driving his car, his little mini with a padlock.
I thought there's a lot. So there's like
No,
100
no,
episodes.
no. Let me look real quick now that we're talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look it up.
I think as a little trivia to Mr. Bean is I think he's having his stutter. That's why he's like not to speak.
Yes,
That's the
he does
reason
not
behind.
speak exactly.
So
Let
that's
me see how
why
many episodes there are. There is
I thought it's like
one
billions of
season.
episodes.
No,
That's
there
interesting to
is
know.
15 episodes.
15. And then we
Mhm.
love it because even you do it every time and now and then it's still you
Mm,
laughing.
mm.
You're still
Because it's all
laughing.
physical comedy, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's 15 episodes of Mr. Bean.
How about the
It,
cartoons?
uh, I'll have to look from 1992 through 1995. Only 15 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
Rowan Atkinson, right?
Rowan, yes. I thought
Let
it's
me see.
like every year he's producing like 100
No,
episodes.
no. Mr. Bean,
Mm.
the animated series. You want to take a guess on how many episodes there are? There's many more episodes of that.
Mm.
There's 6 seasons of,
Mr. Bean. So in
let's see, 18 episodes in one season. Let me see. There's way more in the animated one.
okay.
Yeah, 16 episodes in a season. So, yeah, the animated one is way more. The original one is only 15 episodes.
So which one do
20
you prefer?
episodes.
The animated or the real
Oh,
one, Mr.
the original one. Yeah.
The original one, much
Yeah.
better. You
Thank
you
you,
should
Mr.
do
B.
that. Mr. Bob, you should choose the anime because you have a anime.
Yeah, that's true. I should watch it. I can go, oh, I can be like Mr. Bean, just make noises. Oh,
let's
mm.
let's do comedy like Mr. Bean, don't you think?
Mr. Bean comedy. We're
Yeah,
kind of
Mr. Bean
restricted. I
comedy.
can't run around outside or anything. But Mr. Bean is totally absurdist comedy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So,
Number one.
yeah. So, but yeah, so Mr. Bean, yeah. And I think the painting his apartment thing is one of the more vivid ones, right? Because of how he does it. But then the other thing is there's absurdist literature, right? So Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse Five from
Mm-hmm.
1969 uses nonlinear narrative to address the irrationality of war and fate. The signature line, "So it goes," is the ultimate absurdist shrug in the face of death.
Oh
And so it
wow.
goes. And then
Absurdist death.
John Kennedy O'Toole's A Confederacy of Dunces from 1980 centers on Ignatius J. Riley, an anti-hero whose inability to function in the normal world makes him earnest, irrational, philosophical quest completely ridiculous. And then if we get into stand-up
Totally.
comedy, so we've talked about television, we've talked about literature, and we talked about stand-up comedy. You can't get any more absurd than Andy Kaufman. Do you remember Andy Kaufman at all?
No, sorry, Mr.
No?
Bob. Oh,
So
she.
Andy Kaufman was a comedian back in the 70s and
Ninth.
80s. He played Lodka Gravis on the TV show Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
But he did stand-up comedy. It was totally absurd. So he would Lodka Gravis originated from him doing the thing called Foreign Man, where he just did a funny voice. Thank you very much. Right. And he would come out and he would do bad jokes in that
Mm-hmm.
voice. What do
Thank you
you
very
call
much.
a
Yeah.
chicken with
Mm-hmm.
no head? And then so it was bad, but then he would. The absurd part was he would do that, and then he would transition and do. I'm going to do some impersonations. I'll do a
Mm-hmm.
John Wayne, and then
Mm-hmm.
he, turns around and puts a hat on, and he comes back around, and he's like, "Okay, partner, you better stick up your hands." And he's doing the same voice. He didn't even change his voice, so it's ridiculous, right? But then at the end, he says, "I'm going to do Elvis," and you're expecting him to turn back around and go, "I am Elvis, hound dog," and then he turns around. He does a perfect impersonation of Elvis,
Oh,
like
wow.
amazingly perfect. And so there you go. There's the absurd. He's been absurd, and then this the juxtaposition of being able to do a perfect Elvis impersonation at the time that blew everybody away. And he would do stuff like that. He was just totally, um,
Awesome.
yeah, a weird comedian. He would just do stunts like for one of his comedy specials in New York. Um, he took everybody for milk and cookies. He literally had school buses pull up outside, put everybody on school buses, took them to a school where he had milk and cookies for the whole audience, and drove them there, and then drove them back to the theater. Totally outrageous, right?
Mm-hmm. Outrageous and funny for
And
sure.
absurd. So yeah,
Absurd.
so I think, I mean, those are some real big examples of absurdist comedy. Probably one of the latest ones, and I'm guessing you haven't seen it. Was on Adult Swim. It was called. It was from Tim Heidecker. It was. Oh, now I'm blanking on their names, but uh,
I
oh
will
shoot,
listen up. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because I didn't have it queued up before.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a comedian. Tim Heidecker, he had a partner, and I'm gonna look up and see what the name of this was. This was something that he did, like his first breakthrough thing. Oh, Tim and Eric's awesome show, great job. And
Mm-hmm.
there's 53 episodes on Cartoon Network, and it's him and his partner did this totally weird. Eric Wareheim and Tim Heidecker. It's a totally weird uh, show with just has all kinds of crazy stuff happening. Actually, a character that came from this is a character called Dr. Steve Brule, that is played by John C. Riley. And if you can, he had his own show for a while called uh, what was it called now? It's called now I gotta go look and see what his thing was. I'm jumping off my script here.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a show, a spinoff show on Cartoon
Cartoon
Network
Network.
called Brule's Rules. I'm Dr.
Bruce
Steve
rule.
Brule. And so he had a whole character that he did on Dr. Steve Brule on the Cartoon Network, which was just hilarious. And he even did a spinoff of Dr. Steve Brule called Bag Boy, where he played a bag boy as Dr. Steve Brule, which it is totally absurd, uh, absurdist comedy at its finest.
Finest,
Um,
finest.
finest. You should check it all out. I know this this is kind of just giving you ideas of where to find some things here. So, but I would say from all the different types of comedy, I think that absurdist comedy is one of my favorites. Like you talked, Mr. Bean
Mr.
and
Bean is my favorite.
yeah,
So,
Mr. Bean and Seinfeld has aspects of it.
Seinfeld.
Curb Your
Hmm.
Enthusiasm, The Simpsons, BoJack Horseman,
The
The Chair
Simpsons.
Company now, um, Tim and Eric's Awesome Show, Good Job. I mean, all these are just outlandish things that the Mighty Boosh. There's a
Hmm.
lot of absurdist comedy in Britain, oddly enough. The Goon Show.
So how about the Saturday Night Live? Is it Saturday
No,
Night
they
Night
do sometimes, but they don't. They mix it up, so it's not totally
Absurd?
absurd. Sometimes they do some absurd pieces, but mostly it's not. I mean, they do a lot of political pieces and a lot of straight comedy stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want totally, out of left
Absurd.
field kind of stuff, Saturday Night Live's not the place to go. You want to
Okay.
go,
A mix.
yeah, a lot of stuff. The young ones, which is an old British show. A lot of British shows are that way. Oddly enough, in Canada, Corner Gas. If you ever watch Corner Gas,
No, sorry.
it has it has aspects of the absurd mixed into the regular. So every once in a while, they'll jump out and do absurdist kind of things in the middle of that show. But the show itself is very much grounded in reality. But Trailer Park Boys, they do that too. If you watch that, Canada,
Trailer
a little,
parks.
yeah, a little bit of absurdist comedy in there. But no, I think absurdist is my favorite. I love for things to be way outside the norm.
Outsider. How about Friends? Are they absurd?
No,
No.
rarely, rarely.
So they are what? A regular
Just a regular
comedian.
old. They're boring old comedy. They're not fun like
But they
Mr.
are
Bean's
famous. How
fun.
come they
Yeah.
become famous?
What's that?
Friends. Why do you become famous? Like, oh, high ratings, and until now, it's like
Well, I mean,
people laugh. Friends.
the funny thing about like Hollywood made things is they have a pretty good idea that it might be successful before they even
Mm-hmm.
make it. So it's not like, if you wanted to make something on your own, you have no idea and you just do it and you see
Mm-hmm.
what happens. Where they, there's a little bit of formula in a lot of these things, right? So they, know that, these people are considered good looking and they put them together and they have some talent and they have good writers and so they kind of stack the deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
In their favor, even though oddly enough, it doesn't always work, right? I mean, there's so many comedies that have happened and they just don't work at all, but they try, right? They do a better job of stacking the deck than other people do. So they have the money to do that. If
Mm-hmm.
we had a big budget, Daniel, we'd do all
Let's
kinds of
do.
crazy
Yes,
stuff.
let's do it. Please
We
give
would
us one
do we
percent.
would do our own Mr. Bean cartoon.
Mm-hmm. So it means to say it takes budget to do all those stuff, like
Hmm?
millions of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Well,
Mm.
it takes a lot of help, right? So everybody's not
Mm-hmm.
doing it on their own. They have, I mean, there's if you ever watch the credits of a TV show or a
I
movie or
never
anything,
do.
there's hundreds of people, hundreds of
Yes,
people.
true. But most of the people don't watch the credits. Why don't you think why?
I do. I
You
watch
do?
credits. Yeah.
Like probably like 70% of people don't watch
Oh,
the
probably more
credits.
than that. You're probably like 90%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, because it's boring. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, I mean, unless it's like something that's fun, like the Fantastic Four credits were,
Yeah.
they're not going to watch it, and you know, or if you know somebody in it. So if
Oh
you know somebody
yes.
who's in it, then you watch
Mm-hmm.
it for that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's another one. There you go.
True. Very absurd. Even the director, they don't know. Oh, this is a good movie. Even who's directed it? They didn't
Well,
know.
because I didn't even mention the Fantastic Four director in our movie
Yes,
101 this
who?
week because he's not of any note. I mean, who knows who he
Mm-hmm.
is? Nobody does, right? So,
I forgot to ask who directed it.
yeah, not everybody, not every director is of somebody
Famous.
famous,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's few and far. Just like there's so many good actors, but a lot of them aren't famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the that's the way it just the way it goes. I mean, Here, an old anecdote, an old story. If you remember I Love Lucy, you remember Lucille Ball at all, old
Mm-hmm,
show.
mm-hmm, yes.
Lucille Ball was not a funny person, but she's
In
funny on the show, right? So the
yes.
writers wrote her stuff, and she was able to perform and be funny. But in order to do that, she had to rehearse a lot. She was not a naturally funny person necessarily. So she rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, and then got the timing down, and pulled it off. But if you go talk to Lucille Ball back in the day, in her heyday, she's not going to crack
She's
you
not
up
a
or anything.
comedian. Mm-hmm.
She's
Yes.
a really good actress who did comedic roles and did a good job of it. But in and of herself, she was not really a funny person, apparently.
So, Mr. Bob, to wrap up our discussion for today, what are
Service
your
to her
top
mama,
five?
not Lucille
Yes.
Ball.
Top five that you will recommend for our listeners or viewers being
Oh, anything from
absurd.
Monty Python. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bean, Monty Python, The Mighty Boosh. Curb Your Enthusiasm is very absurd comedy. Larry David's show on HBO. So yeah, any of that. Dr. Steve Brule. Hey,
Yes.
I'm Dr. Steve Brule. Brule's rules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
Simpson.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. And
And you should watch it too, Daniel. You need to take some time away from
yeah.
all these Podmatch emails that you're answering. I
Had
don't know
much
why.
emails.
Your
Absurd.
hundreds of Podmatch emails that you answer every day,
E- Every
and
day
you
in
watch
single day.
an episode of The Mighty Boosh.
The mighty
They're
boosh.
only
Yeah.
22 minutes.
22 minutes in every episode.
Yeah,
Uh,
22 minutes. Just watch. There's not
well,
that
I will
many.
try. Yes, I will try. And people, please do listen to our movie 101 review. Mr.
Ooh.
Bob recommend to watch. Or is it recommend or not?
Oh,
Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four. I said, watch it if you want to.
Yes,
I don't
listen it.
care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen to it, people.
Yeah.
So
You can listen to the review and then you can decide on your own. How's that?
whether you like it or not. If you're fun with CGI, why not, right?
Yeah. Why
Mm-hmm.
not?
Why not?
Why not? Why are you watching this? You watching it for a cartoon cat?
Why
This is
watching
absurd,
us?
Daniel. This is
Yes,
totally absurd. You're
totally
talking to a
absurd.
cartoon cat who is
Mm-hmm.
standing up in front of a microphone in a
Mm-hmm.
brick wall, and you're having a conversation. That this is not normal.
And thank you, Apple Watch, for sponsoring our podcast.
Oh,
Thank
really? Apple Watch? Oh,
you.
fantastic.
Yes, Apple Watch. Please do uh,
Absolutely.
listen to our movie 101 and comedy 101. Sponsored by Apple. Imagine
And
Apple Watch.
and
Thank you
coming
so
soon,
much.
Mr. Bean 101.
Why not? Let's do that. Mr. Comedy, Mr. Bean 101. Is it is that a copyrighted? I think. Right?
No,
Mr. Bean 10. No.
no,
Mr.
you can't
Bean.
copyright a name, can you?
Let's say Mr. Bean. I think that's copyrighted.
I don't think.
Don't you
Well, you
think?
can just call it Bean 101. Drop the Mister.
Dr. Bean 101. Oh, why not? Because I'm producing lots of 101. So why not?
Right.
Comedy 101, Mr. Bean 101, and soon we
Mhm.
have Motivational 101, Mr. Bob. Ah, next year. I hope it
Next,
will
yeah,
materialize.
in a year.
Year and a year and a year. We are procrastinating. We are procrastinating. It's been a
Uh,
year talking about that podcast. Let's motivate people all over the world through Motivational 101. But Mr. Bob and I are procrastinating. So why
we're
not?
procrastinating. Yes, we're procrastinating.
We are
Yeah, Bean. We gotta do Bean
procrastinating.
101 now. Come on.
Mr.
We
Bean
only got eight.
101.
If you
What?
just do
We have
the
already Comedy
regular,
101.
if you do the
So,
regular show, there's
mhm.
only 18 episodes. So
Eight. Oh yes, let's do Bean 101. Then what's the concept? Bean
we just talk.
101.
We just watch the episode and then we talk about it.
Okay. Is it allowed? I think it's copyrighted
Yes.
or
Oh
something.
yeah. Everybody does that.
Mm. Okay, so let's do that. Being
You give me
101. People, please do watch us or listen
there's only
sooner
one
or later.
season and it's
One season, and that's it.
18 episodes.
Okay, deal. The contract is done.
But once the best
Deal.
bits, there's only 14 episodes.
14 episode for
Yeah, because
See,
the one is
Mr.
the best
Bean.
bits of Mr. Bean, which means it's all the old stuff. So
Yes,
yeah.
Mr. Bean 101.
Yep.
Well, let's materialize that. Mr. Bob Bean 101 with 14 episodes. Ah, is it 14?
Limited series, a limited series.
Limited series, a limited edition. Why
Yeah, a limited
not?
edition.
Okay, Mr. Bob, would you like to plug in something?
My toaster. I'm gonna make some toast this afternoon, this evening, and I'm going to
Yes.
put some marmalade on it. So
No, awesome.
isn't that
I
Mr.
like
Bean
that.
had toast and marmalade? I think, didn't he?
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
No, you can
I
listen
think
to me
there's
at
a
Static Radio.
scene.
That's what I say.
Yeah, she's doing a toaster and then burn. I think
Right, it
burn.
burns his toast. Yes.
Yes, yes,
No, you can
and
listen
the
to me at Static Radio. I'm sorry, I'm being silly. I'm being
yeah,
absurd.
being absurd. That's one of the quality of Mr. Bob. Come on, yeah, Mr. Bob, don't you think?
Mhm.
Being
Exactly.
a
I'm being
static
absurd.
radio.
I'm
Yes.
totally absurd. That's right. You hear about crazy stories about things that happen to me that I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Mm.
And some of them
Yes.
are absurd. They are truly absurd.
Mm-hmm. Static radio, please,
Yep,
Mr. Bob.
staticradio.com. Yep.
Yes, wherever you listen your podcast. Yes, I
It's
think
on
it's the
Apple
longest
Podcast even. It's on Apple. You can probably listen to it on your
yeah,
Apple Watch.
Apple. Thank you, Apple, again. Thank you. I hope another sponsor will come. Big sponsor that will come to us. Comedy 101 and Movie 101. Thank you so much for listening to us. And Mr.
Bye.
Bob,
Mhm. Hi, you've been listening to Comedy 101.
more to come, people. See you soon.